Okay, good morning, everyone. Lindsay Duff here from Motivated Trader. It is Friday, May 19th, 2017. I have been away for a little bit. I'm working with something new. You can see I've added the indicator here. I actually learned a little bit about my EMAs. I've been working with a higher time frame, which you cannot see right now. Um, and I've been doing some simulation because I'm not really. It's something new. Let's figure out something new. Um, so you can see this EMA. I just added the 52 EMA, which is the mid band for the 1597, and yeah. So and then we've got I did switch up this a little bit. 144. Just the 135 is not a fib number, so I put in a fib number, and I learned that yesterday from a good friend. So, and I do use fib numbers everywhere here, so there's no reason not to have it. It's really not much of a difference. I put them side by side with the 135 and the 144, and you can't see a difference. But I went ahead and just switched that up a little bit. So, when you start off your day, the first thing you want to do is look at it and go, what direction is this market headed in? So what I typically do is I kind of squish this up a little bit and see what we've had going on lately. And you can see, when you do market replays and you add in the lines, it adds them in even here. So I was doing some market replays yesterday. But I squish up everything and I look back a little further and go, okay, where are we really at? And when you look at this and you see this and you go, okay, we've reached a pretty decent high at one point, right? And so with that pretty decent high that we have going on there, what happens is, people go, oh my God, I can't believe it went that high, and we need to push everything back down, okay? And so it was not doing a whole lot of, for a while we were having a lot of just junk. So it's hard to readjust your brain from having a lot of junk to having some pretty decent movement in everything. But let me close this up just a little bit more. Here we go. Do this right here so you can see everything. And so it reached a pretty decent high, and it was working its way down. Now it's looking to work its way back up. In the overall, you can see what's been happening is we had strong push down, or not strong push, but we've come back up probably, I don't know, 35% of the move that we've had initially to the downside. Well, if you want to do it all the way from, go back right here. So, there's a lot going on here. Let's see, we pulled back, yeah, right about 35%. Wow, can't believe I called that. But so, right now it could be working to push things back down here. So actually, I'm going to leave that there for a moment, and so just kind of talk about the possible scenarios that we have here, to push things back down, or you could just continue working its way up. Now, is it just going to fly to the upside? I'm not really anticipating that, to just fly to the upside, but I guess we'll just wait and see what it decides to do. And throughout the time, there's going to be plenty of, oh, there we go, sorry. There's going to be plenty of, not much difference, it's just a little bit higher. There's going to be plenty of movements throughout the time. Now, where are we at currently when it comes to the immediate momentum? So the overall momentum is working its way up, right? The immediate momentum also working its way up. And it's 8:25. We got about 5 more minutes before the market opens. But yeah, you can see the immediate momentum is working its way up. Where's our next area that could create a bounce? I'm looking right in here. this one over here. There we go. So here's our next area. We've already held up here a couple times. Now, when we're trying to decide if areas should break or hold, I look to the MACDs and the EMAs for those. So the MACDs have had it's an all right push down, and they're trying to work their way back up at this moment. Now, when this was pushing down, the price was working to push up, but the MACDs were pushing to the downside. We're still above the zero line, which is pretty much relative most these days. It's just an area for a bounce. It's one that holds more often than others. And so you can see it's just an area. It overruns it. This is still, in my opinion, in the zero line area right in here. But in the overall, I'm always looking to the higher time frame to see what the overall is. Then I look to the lower time frame to say what is the immediate. So the immediate is we're above everything, which means that we've got EMAs open to the upside. We're above zero lines. We have MACDs pushing up, but we have a few more minutes before it all opens here. I'm going to take a look at news really quick. If you're going to news, you're going to go to Forex Factory. And let me bring this up so we can look at it before the market opens. So I usually go to Forex Factory, and the only thing I concern myself with is anything that says USD and it's in red, and we have nothing to worry about today. So okay, let's talk a little bit about this area that we've come up to and what the anticipations are right now. It's before market open. It's pushed up really hard. It's gotten back into this area that's held multiple times, and the MACDs are leading lower. So what that tells me is at this time, I'm looking at a possible turn to the downside on the MACDs, or what we're going to see happen is, and because this has not created divergence just yet, we're looking at the potential for divergence. So our first indication would be a turn off of the EMA, just a turn, a roll here. I have all these lines up here, and they're all just areas that it's bounced off before. It's not that I'm saying that this area is going to hold, but it's bounced off there before. So that number is significant to somebody, and they're trying to push it down from there. So right now, you've had a roll off of the area. MACDs are rolling down, so now we're starting to see some divergence happening. Our EMAs are trying to open up. We've got a little bit of strength in the EMAs here. The way these MACDs are rolling off, if they start to roll to the upside and these just kind of have a weak retracement down and push up, I'll anticipate breaking through this area with the strength of the EMAs, but otherwise, it's going to have to prove it to me. These EMAs are beginning to open up, but they're not super strong. You see what's happened the last couple times that they've opened up. It's pulled away pretty far, and then it pushes right back down. I'm anticipating this to continue up at this moment, the way this looks, but I'm going to give it just a moment. It's right at market open right now. Don't particularly like taking trades right at market open. Yep, here we go. I have headphones in. I don't have any music playing, but it blocks out the noise behind me a little bit. Push up, push up. I'm really anticipating this to push through, but I don't want to be the one to try and make it. Although this is a very, it's like a 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, right? So the EMAs are opening up, but the MACDs are weak. And in my opinion, the MACDs lead everything. But they look weak because we've had a big movement overnight. We've had a strong push down the MACDs, and now everything just kind of looks a little bit weak. And what I like to do is have things closed up a little bit more than usual. If I spread them open really far, then I'm just micromanaging everything. They just go up weekly, but yeah, no. Okay, so is there a possibility for a short here? Absolutely there is. It would be right here as this MACDs are starting to turn to the downside. Where would your target be? Right in here. Am I going to fight these strong MACDs or strong EMAs trying to push it down? No way. They're leaning just a little bit lower here though. Yeah. Look at the strong pushback down, this weak. If you listen to the background noise, you'll know why you haven't seen any of my charts this week, except for one day. Okay. All right. While in a conversation, there was a pull down, definitely the ability to continue up here, being above the zero line. You know, and the zero line to me is like relative. Like I say, we overrun it. But when we're pulling down, we're not even getting down towards it to try and push back down. And to really get on the other side of everything, I like both of these to get on, push down below everything like it has here. But then you watch for, is it going to continue or is it going to move in the opposite direction? So right where the exit was, it was absolutely a re-entry to the upside. And right now, I would be looking at a exit because you've got this long bar, close at the bottom, you've got that exhaustion bar. You do have the MACD, the strength of the EMAs in your favor to continue up, but you're not getting a whole lot of, award-winning pushes to the upside right now. So that's something that you keep in mind whenever you see it dying out. Now, if you want to remain in these trades, the proper way to manage them is you have your risk initially back here. Then this pulls down and you move your risk a couple of ticks behind here. And then you look at, all right, still not going very strong. If you're not out here, you're looking to exit at this next time, this next area. kind of blocking my view on other charts. Okay, we're starting to pull back up into this previous area that gave us a bounce. And let's kind of look at the overall. Bounce back here with it. There's too much going on up here. Let's delete some of those. All kinds of reversal bars, all kinds of things to take an exit whenever it is slowing like this. All right. Well, doesn't look like I'm going to get much done today. I'm looking at these pivots here, and the price is leading higher in the long run. The MACDs are leading lower, and even on a bigger time frame that I'm looking at. But it's just creeping its way up, so that doesn't mean that they won't creep their way up the entire day. But yeah. Cute little pullback there to continue up. I'm even looking at it. Oh, there we go. All right. So this yellow line is simply an EMA on a bigger time frame. We don't have to really worry about it. Actually, I'll take it off of there. All right. potential for divergence is almost out the window. And such a hard push down. It's going to have difficulty pulling back up. You're definitely going to have divergence on your 610. Possible divergence on your 1597 if this even pulls back up all the way. Not anticipating with this hard push down and this retracement and this reaction in your MACDs. We'll be looking at short here. With the exit here. If this rolls, it could push back up from here. There it goes. Roll bar. Let's see if this is going to roll. Nope. Your risk would be I can't wait for things to get back to normal next week. Pushing down, pushing down. All of these bars have closed right around the same price, and all of these MACDs have continued down. So I was talking to someone the other day about, does price lead the way, do MACDs lead the way? Neither, but they work together. So the goal is to learn how to read all of this together. It's like driving a car. You can't just pay attention to you know, just the stoplight. You have to pay attention to what the cars at the stoplight are doing. If someone's going to blow through it and you're going to get run over, or if the stoplight is actually going to hold. It's an area. You're going to go through them all the time. So, you know, those are type of things. You got to think of this like driving. You've got to pay attention to everything going on around you. If you're just looking straight ahead, you never see the cars beside you. It's all one big fluid movement together. And that's the same with trading. Could definitely push up at this point. Starting the weekend. Boom, and give it a shot. Just a little bit of a push here. These are pretty strong, but they could definitely turn at this point. A little bit of a W pattern, so I wouldn't anticipate it going, you know, way beyond this. But if it gives me the opportunity, I'm going to take it. I like the way these bars are just kind of sitting here. The MACDs are showing strength down on the 1597. That's because they haven't had time to slow and roll really like they are here. Two ticks behind that. All right, this needs a push up right here, right now. slow just a little bit. We're so far above the zero line here that it has the chance to work out. What I'd like to do is just go ahead and wait for the possibility of this going up higher, but be prepared to take it out if it doesn't. Okay. Pushing a little bit higher than that last pivot. Bring it up one tick here. MACDs are rolling up. First possibility of a slowdown here. MACDs are starting to push up with some strength on the 610, and they're starting to roll on the 1597. Watching the slowdown. I'll go ahead and take my exit here. This look right here just says, okay, it's not really rolling and pushing. It's almost like it's the last chance to try and push up a little bit more. It's very, very weak coming up in the MACDs on the 610. There's a lot of strength in the EMAs to push this up. But right here makes me a little, I don't want to use the word concerned, but hyper aware is what I'm going to start saying instead of concerned or worried. Because the MACDs didn't roll up after all these pushes to the upside. What happens a lot is it pushes really, really hard with the price, and the MACDs say, forget about it. And I'm listening to myself and what I said earlier, and just such a strong push down in all of the MACDs and those MACDs, then I wasn't anticipating this to continue. I wasn't anticipating it to continue to the upside. Let me turn these on. Sorry, guys. When I'm doing simulation, I don't really like them on. When I'm doing some market replays. Kind of still at a watch and wait. I feel like this may be continuing up here with the weak retracement here, and this is still not pushing down. I mean, it's pushing down, but it's not pushing down with a lot of strength, so just kind of waiting here. Is that way? This is having too much trouble to push up right now. It's just such a struggle for these MACDs to push up. It's definitely going to give divergence if it reaches the top. Or right now, it's got retracement divergence. The price is pushed up so far, and this is all the MACDs are doing. It hasn't equaled that previous pivot point, but it's pushed up a pretty decent amount. Like what I'd like to do is take a short, but I'm not going to. Right here, I struggle with taking shorts directly into this strong push, or the strong EMAs, or taking a trade against it, I guess you could say. So what I do in that situation is I mark them and build my confidence on them. So I will take them at a later date. It's a repetition. And if I was a betting woman, I would say that we would get out around here. Or even all the way down here. The next place would be at this point, since we are finally getting divergences all the way down here. Okay, guys, I'm going to call it a day. I really don't have much left to do today. I've got a few things I've got to do, but I just wanted to, kind of touch base with y'all, let y'all know that I'm still around. I've just been so distracted that it's been not very easy to trade. So, as always, if you got any questions, just let me know.